Kupe has the most intriguing and spectacular start of all. Forget about spawning on boring and old land like the other leaders. No, Kupe starts right in the middle of the vast, endless ocean. Talk about making a splash. Now, why? Let's dive in to uncover the historical background behind this absolutely bonkers starting location. To better understand Kupe's history and where he comes from, let's first talk a bit about the empire he leads in Season 6, the Maori. The Maori people are the indigenous inhabitants of New Zealand that came from Polynesia, a region of Oceania that comprises more than 1,000 islands of the Pacific Ocean. In the 14th century, the Polynesian settlers that would give rise to the Maori people arrived in New Zealand in a series of waves of canoe voyages. Throughout centuries of isolation, they've developed a unique culture with the ocean as a key element of a very strong oral tradition. And among these myths and legends, we find that of Kupe, which, in the end, historians do not agree if it's a 100% legend or if this story actually happened. Do you know of more mythical legends of games? Let me know in the comments. According to Maori oral tradition, Kupe was a Polynesian explorer and sailor that became the first person to discover the land we now know as New Zealand. But it wasn't just a common journey. He had an enemy to it. He was heavily trained in Polynesian navigation, which probably included learning how to use the catamaran, the most important way of transport across the Polynesian islands. We don't know exactly when Kupe's journey started, but we're told that 14 generations ago, he left his homeland, the mythical Polynesian land of Hawaii, with his wife, a warrior, and other crew members, and embarked on a particular journey. His goal was to end with a big threat that had been troubling Hawaii. They weren't pirates, the weather, or disease. It was an octopus. A giant octopus. Some stories say this octopus had been sent by an enemy priest. Others mention that food was scarce and the octopus was a huge opportunity to eat. Either way, Kupe and his crew set sail to the south with the goal of killing the octopus for whatever reason. Without GPS, their only guide were the stars. It turned out to be a very long pursuit. So much so that before actually finding and facing the creature, they saw something in the horizon. Land. Clouds started to give away that they were approaching to somewhere. Kupe's wave climbed. A cloud, a long cloud, as they were getting closer to the unknown islands. These words ended up naming what could become known as New Zealand. On their arrival, Kupe and Ngake parted ways. Ngake would be in charge of chasing and following the octopus, while Kupe and his wife and children explored the land looking for food in order to resupply. Their goal was to be prepared for the final battle against the creature, but before... why not enjoy some holidays around the majestic views of New Zealand? That's exactly what they did, kinda. Kupe sailed across the islands, naming tons of different places with his family, until a final stop at what would become Wellington Harbour, from where he sailed another time to meet up with Ngake and finish his adventure once for all. They met at Castle Point. Ngake informed Kupe that the creature was inside a cavern, giving birth to more and more octopi. They decided it was the time for all this to end, so they entered the cavern, scaring away the creature and starting once again a new chase across the sea. People have to do such crazy things for a couple of sushi pieces. After a new pursuit, the time finally came. Kupe and his crew, with his family in a safe place, were finally facing the Polynesian Cthulhu. A fierce battle kicks off. But if we're talking about the legendary myth, you probably already know that the hero won't die. A fantastic blow to the head and the octopus is no more. But the whole adventure opened the seaways for the Polynesian settlers that ended up giving rise to the Maori. And Kupe was key in all this. He named a lot of places across New Zealand, becoming the most important Maori figure of all. Kupe's starting location is representing his incredible voyage from Hawaii to New Zealand, the land of the Maori. And the more time you take to arrive to the Maori's original land, better. If you want to learn about another civilization with a strong bond with the ocean, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching.